Oh,
Yeah,
the
I gotta
Lobster's
admit.
coming out this week.
What is?
The Lobster took like a year to come out in the
That
States.
was on
It's been
demand.
out like, it's what?
That movie's been on demand.
Really? Oh, okay.
I thought it was.
Sure, I should watch
It's
it
that
again.
Colin Farrell movie, right?
I think so, yeah.
I mean,
I've just
I
heard
think I
good
saw it
things.
on demand or saw I think for. Um, all right,
It's been out for, like forever.
we are
Like
good to go
everywhere else but here.
whenever you guys are.
Yep, I'm
Yeah, I'm
ready.
good.
All right. Let me move this over. This is way back here. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Backlot Podcast. My name is Steven. I got Dylan. I got Alexander. How are you guys doing today?
Doing
Doing
well.
good.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So pretty much this is the Movie Backlot Podcast. Every single week we get together to discuss movies and whatnot, box office numbers, Blu-rays, anything in the world of movies that we want to talk about. We get together and we talk about it. We are on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, everywhere podcasts are available. Look for us there. And we usually like to start off the week by going over the box office numbers and what kind of amazing shenanigans happened there. And pretty much this week everybody knew what was going to happen. Captain America Civil War was going to come out, was going to whoop some ass, take some names,
Yep.
do its thing, and it did it. Some people were predicting a little bit more. It didn't hit that. I at one point thought it would be 200, then I lowered it to like the low 190s. It was a bit off again, but it made $181.8 million. Some people are saying, well, that's because BVS hurt its chances. Other people are saying superhero fatigue. Other people saying it's a Captain America movie in the title, not an Avengers name in the
Yeah.
title. That could have affected it. A lot of things
I
could have
think
affected this movie.
Yeah, I think that the fact that it says Captain America, not Avengers, is exactly the reason why. I do feel BVS was good; it would have made more money, but I don't think. But I think that maybe detracted like $5 or $10 million worth of people, not like 20 or like 20 million. I thought the $200 million predictions were a bit too optimistic the entire time.
I thought
Uh,
Spider-Man would have.
Same.
I thought that a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people that like I watch on YouTube saw the movie like weeks in advance and they knew how good it was, so they thought, oh, because the movie's so good it deserves a $200 million opening. But I felt that that plan of having like weeks and weeks of all this great press kind of had a lot of people be like, oh, it's out now because they've been hearing about it for weeks. And I thought it would have been smarter for them to have like the press come out like 1 week in advance, like Deadpool, because Deadpool is able to ride that wave of momentum. While this just kind of had
Yeah.
it like steady for a few weeks, but there wasn't anything like rising to the
Then
to
again,
the release date.
it almost made 700 million in its first weekend. I mean, it's
Oh well,
in its first two weekends.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's still a huge success.
And it's gonna
I was
make
just
like
saying.
I predict $1 billion like by next week, maybe 2 weeks from now.
It-
It's gonna hit it easy.
Probably 2 weeks from now.
Like
I think
next
they'll
week
end
it'll
at,
get
like,
about
1 point.
9, almost 9 next week. Let's say it drops to about 120 here in the States, 100 million in the States. It'll make like another 100 or so million elsewhere. That's almost 900.
You think it's gonna drop to 100 million?
Yeah, I mean, I'm predicting around 110. Like it's not gonna
Oh.
be 150 or anything. There's no way in hell.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I was thinking like 90 million,
Oh,
just
no,
because
no, no, I
like
think it'll be
Jurassic World opened with 207 and it still barely got 100 million second opening week. 100
I don't
million
know
second.
because Jurassic
But
World
that
isn't one
also
of
they also had a lot
those.
more competition with Inside Out opening that
Jurassic
same
World
week.
isn't one of those fan movies that people go and watch multiple times the way the Civil War.
Well,
I don't know. I think
Avengers
Well, it
did the
was
same
because it
thing.
made like one
what did
point.
Avengers make the second weekend?
Avengers made
Age of Ultron.
100 million its second weekend.
And Ultron?
Yeah.
You guys know?
Ultron made
Ultron made
90%.
less.
Okay.
Did it?
Made like 80
Yeah.
or 90.
I think so. I'm
Okay.
I'm sticking with 80 because there's not. I mean, I'm sticking with 100 because there's nothing coming out next weekend. I'm gonna see it again next weekend. I know that for a fact.
Oh yeah.
I've already seen it twice. Was gonna go a third time, but didn't go this weekend.
Yeah.
But
I want to see it again.
I really want to see it in IMAX, but I don't know.
I
I
saw
saw it
it.
in IMAX.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it
There's
looks
only
amazing.
one scene that's in the IMAX ratio. It's the airport sequence, which is really long
So
and,
that
and
20-minute
really
sequence?
fantastic. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the only thing shot in IMAX, which was kind of disappointing.
Um,
But Avengers: Infinity War Part 1 and 2 will be entirely shot in IMAX. So
I mean,
sorry.
we'll talk about the name changes for those movies a bit later. But yeah. So I didn't do a review on my channel or anything, but I saw the movie. I was all over Facebook, making puns on Batman v Superman because I think it's funny. But yeah. So the way that I best described the movie for me was it's Age of Ultron and the Winter Soldier rolled up into one.
I think it's better than that.
No, I mean not for me. For me, Winter Soldier is better. So I have problems with the movie, and my problems are very minor problems. Like I still think the movie's great. It's my third best movie. Maybe like it's right behind the Avengers. For me, it's fighting with the Avengers. But after watching it the second time, I just caught more things that didn't really make a hell of a lot of sense, except for the point of we need to get to a certain point. Spider-Man's introduction felt like that to me. It's a cool thing, but to me it felt like, well, we need a sixth man. Let's go to Queens out of nowhere. It's cool, and I'm like, I was fanboying out, eating it up, like this is the best thing ever. But story-wise, it was just kind of meh. Another thing that bothered me was it's cool Black Panther's story throughout the whole thing. Like his story is really cool, but and he kept interplaying into the actual fight with the Iron Man and Captain America, but he just kept fucking showing up. There was the part towards the end where I'm like, were you just following this person the whole time? Like, how the hell did you
Hey, come on.
Again, these
come
are
on.
minor things.
When you think somebody murdered your father, of course you'd follow them until you kill him.
We should.
Well, I don't think that's a spoiler.
Spoilers.
I mean,
That's at the beginning of the movie. That's the motivation for everything.
I don't
Was
even,
it
I don't
in
even
the
think
trailers?
Yeah. Oh, the explosion.
Yeah.
The explosions in the trailer. I mean,
Yeah, but not what happened
I guess
because of it.
that was a spoiler. We'll put that. But in every single one of Black Panther's motivation is his dad dying is literally the same as Bruce Wayne, that parents dying. But the only problem is he's not as well known.
I think it's a lot less well known.
That's
than
the problem.
Batman,
He's not well known
so.
like everybody else, but literally in every single
I
story.
didn't know that was coming when it happened. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, I get it, but that bothered me. And then, okay? I'm not gonna say the name of the villain. The main villain, I think is the second or third best Marvel villain. Straight up. And how did they put it? He didn't even throw a punch, but yeah, he's to me one of the best villains they have.
Yeah.
The end game of his, to me, didn't make sense. So he needs two people to be in that room in a certain situation towards the end. If one of those people isn't in that room, his plan goes nowhere. Now I can put up spoiler warnings and say what I'm saying to see if you guys.
Well, I already spoiled.
probably
Apparently, I already spoiled something, so we're
you
already
spoiled
in
that
that.
minor part, but all right. I'll say okay. Spoiler for maybe 5 minutes. All right. So my thing is, towards the end, he needs Iron Man to be in that room when he shows the tape for the big twist, which I thought was an amazing twist. The problem is, there's no way for him to know that Iron Man is going to follow Captain America to be in that room at that time. He just needs it to happen. So if Iron Man never shows up and it is just Bucky and Cap in that room, then his plan goes nowhere, because then they would have made up and it's over. So I was just kind of like, it's cool, but if Iron Man just decided, let him get away, let him do what he has to do, then his plan would
I see where you're coming from, what I took it as, and I remember I think I read something in like one of the interviews with the Russo brothers. They said that if Iron Man hadn't shown up, he just would have planned a different time to show Tony Stark the video. So it was like he had to prepare just in case.
My brother said he
and Tony Stark showed up, and he was like, "Oh, okay, perfect timing."
Yeah, my brother said what he would have ended because the video was in that place, so he would have just sent Tony the video or something. So again, these are all minors. Again, once I watch it again, I'll see if it's better than the Avengers. I think the story is amazing. I think that twist at the end is amazing. I think the action scene is one of the best action scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
The Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man. I'm not gonna say it's the best Spider-Man movie because it's not. It's the best Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
he has the best. He has the Queen's accent. He's from New York.
Sorry,
He acts like a New Yorker. He acts like a fanboy. Like it's what he would be. That's the best Spider-Man that you can get. But as a movie, we don't know. We'll have to see. But his scenes are amazing. Black Panther, great motivation. I like that they made him. He's not Iron Man. He's not Captain America. He is vengeful as fuck. Like he will murder you. Like he does not care.
Yeah.
Like, and that's cool because that's who he is. Like, and he doesn't. They have a different kind of law in Wakanda in the comics and stuff. So, it's his father was the peacekeeper, was the wise man kind of thing. So, it's cool that they kept that to him. I'm surprised nobody turned it into, oh, they made the black guy want to be the killer. Like, I'm surprised nobody said that because I would have laughed my ass off. But I thought that was, when I saw the movie, I thought people were going to say that. Oh, well, it's the black guy. Of course he's going to be the most violent one. But whatever.
I didn't really get the sense that he was the most violent one when I've seen the movie twice, and I never really got that sense.
Really?
I just got the sense that they're in this like
Well, he
battle
believes in
and it's going
revenge.
for blood.
He believes in
Well, yeah.
revenge.
Well, yeah, he's going for vengeance because
No
this
other, but
person
no.
murdered
My
his
point is like no other
dad.
superhero believes that.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I was just like, oh, that's his character, and I didn't.
yeah, I thought that was
I
cool.
think much of it.
Um,
Although I just want to say one thing about Spider-Man, I loved him in this film, and I'm super excited for Homecoming. But I feel like people that are saying this is the best Spider-Man that we've ever gotten are jumping the gun just because there isn't just off of the whole point of small sample size. Because he's in the movie for roughly 10 minutes. You can definitely edit 10 minutes out of the main Spider-Man or 10 minutes out of the Raimi films and get something like that was just as incredible as this.
Did the cameras just turn off for some reason?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's weird. No, I'm talking about as someone who read the comic books and watched the TV shows, almost all of them. He's the best portrayal of Spider-Man. As in, like, what he does and the few times he's there makes it seem like Spider-Man. Like, watch the Spectacular Spider-Man, watch any of the Spider-Mans. He is that guy. From those scenes alone, you see that person. Like, Toby never gave me the New York accent, never gave me the wisecracking kind of guy. He gave me the nerdy side, which is cool. But this guy in that small thing gave you the wisecracking, the New York accent, the fanboying out, because Spider-Man does that all the time in the cartoons and in the comic books because he's like 15. His age came into play as well because Andrew Garfield and Toby were both in their 20s. This kid is about 18 and looks like he's 15. So that's what I mean by like best looking Spider-Man. Like who knows how the movie's gonna be? Who knows how he's gonna be? His portrayal.
I'm just waiting to see like a full length film before I say that he's my favorite. I think he's.
He's not my favorite. I still prefer Andrew Garfield and Toby over him, but I think he's the best. He's the best Spider-Man compared to the comics and the TV show. I mean, the TV shows. But I prefer Andrew way more than him. Like he didn't do anything besides.
See where I stand. Tom Holland is the best, but he's the best overall Spider-Man and Peter Parker because I thought Tobey Maguire was good as Peter Parker, and I enjoyed his Spider-Man, but he just didn't like do the wisecracking as much as I thought. And then Andrew Garfield, I actually hate his Peter Parker. Like he's just like this jackass. But I really loved his Spider-Man.
I like his Peter Parker. I don't know. For Andrew Garfield, I like his Peter Parker and his Spider-Man because he's more of a. There's been takes of Spider-Man that he is not the nerdiest kid in school. You know what I mean? He is the just the loner more than anything, and he has two friends.
I loved how I think it was in honest trailers. There for the main Spider-Man. They were like Peter Parker is just your average, well-dressed, good-looking, incredibly intelligent loser.
Exactly, but yeah, but like there was also a cool moment that they had. Like I don't know, his conversation with Tony was really cool, and
that 5-minute sequence.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And then also, I like that Aunt May is young because most like a real aunt would be about her age. Like you know what I mean? Like a real aunt to a guy Peter Parker's age would be about in her 40s. Aunt May's always in her 60s. Like she's her she's her great Aunt May. Like
in Marissa Tomei's case, 51.
That's fine. Damn, dear Jesus, she's 51.
Yeah, she still looks like she's 40.
She looks like she's in the high 30s, but whatever. Yeah, so I'm cool with that. Yeah, I love the movie. I think it's fantastic. Story wise, I just feel that I enjoy the story, and it's better than Age of Ultron, and it's more fun than any of the other movies. But the first Avengers movie for me was like the best juggling act you can ever see in your life. Like, never been attempted before. We're juggling, so it could be the nostalgic moment of it. And then this one, it's like we're juggling things, but a lot less things. Taking out Thor, taking out Hulk makes it easier to juggle that than to juggle the Avengers.
True, but
adding Black Panther and Spider-Man is another juggling act. So I don't know.
And
maybe they're tied. I don't know, but I know Winter Soldier is to me the better story. So for me,
I mean, this is well, I mean, I have my review on both Geek Down Nation and my YouTube channel, but the one thing that really surprised me is that I actually like this better than the Avengers,
I was
which
shocked
was
when you said that.
I was shocked when I walked out of the theater saying, "Wow, I actually like this better than the Avengers." But one thing like I really liked is how it juggles so many things, but I never thought it distracted from being Captain America's story because like in my review, I said the whole driving force was Bucky Barnes. He's the reason why the Civil War tensions escalate, and the whole movie is
In the beginning
them
and in
trying
the
to
end.
figure out something. Yeah. So I felt like it did a really good job at still being a Captain America story and not like distract. Like it's still like it's a Civil War story also, but Captain America 3 is still the foreground. It still keeps the focus on Captain America.
To me, it's crazy that I pretty much hated the first Captain America movie, and like,
man, you go back and forth with that. You're like, oh, I hate this.
When I first saw it, I hated it, and the second time I saw it, I was like, meh. So it's okay. It's to me, it's one of the worst Marvel movies. So I don't know what that means. I mean, it's up there with Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 2 for me. 2. So
nothing's with Iron Man 2. That's just.
Well, I mean, like it's up there. It's like
maybe it
goes. Like I think
that's the outlier.
I think it to me I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but for me, the first Avenger is worse than Thor: The Dark World. So I don't know. It's not hate, but it's just kind of like you're the C grade.
Just like
you're a C.
It's all right.
Yeah, you're just okay. And then now it's like Captain America, which people keep saying, oh, it's not really his movie in Winter Soldier, and it's not really his movie now in Civil War. So they're kind of cop outs. But I'm like, I don't think so. If you've ever seen the read any comic book movies, Cap is always with people. Like he has a team. The Howling Commandos were in the first Avengers. If like they would have given us a backstory to those guys are badass in the comic books. He's always with people. So I don't know. I do. Okay, we'll get to the names after we go through the box office. If you guys don't have anything else to say.
I mean, I have a lot more to say, but we can move on.
Well, Dylan, you can go then. You can say something.
I just want to give my overall thoughts on the movie because I haven't put up a review or anything. I loved it. I'm not sure where it ranks in the MCU, but it's in my top 5 favorite MCU films. That's also because I really love Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and Iron Man 3. So it's somewhere in that tier.
You have Ant-Man in your top 5?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just love that movie.
No, I know people that have. I just didn't know where you had it. Like it's my number 7, I think.
All right, which for the MCU?
Yeah, it's like
really
Pixar.
only put out one movie that I dislike.
The MCU is Pixar.
So
like Pixar has maybe 1 or 2 movies that aren't good. They don't, like it's not. Their top 10 is amazing. So MCU's top 10 is amazing usually.
Yeah, I have very minor complaints, and most of them are nitpicks. The opening action sequence, which was really well done, I just thought it was a bit too shaky, Cammy. But everything after that had stable camera work for a lot of it. So I was like, oh, I'm in.
There was a scene when Cap finds Bucky, they had a shit ton of shaking cam inside of that apartment building for like a few minutes, and that shit bothered me. Like, I was like, dear God, why don't you pan the camera out a little bit so I know what's happening? It was just really close up and then cutting from Bucky and the Cap and then cutting to their faces. And I was like, dear Jesus, so much shit is happening. Just pan out the camera the way the Daredevil does it. Just pan it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought too when that scene happened.
You're saying at the beginning. I'm saying that.
Well, I'm saying at the beginning, but also that
close ups.
Like thinking back to it, I can see that point as well. I remember thinking because it happened because it's like there's a fight sequence that happens on on a staircase, and I'm like, oh, it's just like Daredevil season 2.
But Daredevil knew how to back it up. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's cool though.
but the action's great. That airport sequence,
Oh,
I thought may have been overhyped. It wasn't.
yeah.
It was.
I thought it
so
was
much
too.
fun.
People kept saying it, and I was like, no, there's no way.
I liked how this movie was more emotional in terms of its climax. I liked all the character moments. Thought they all had their time to shine. Spider-Man's fantastic.
I don't remember
Black
the last
Panther,
time I actually said
I'm really excited.
at the climax towards the end, the twist. I don't remember the last time I was in a movie and I had a verbally out loud said, "Oh shit!" Like
Yeah, that was one of those moments. Huh?
like when I literally yelled it out and the guy next to me started laughing and I'm like,
Yeah, it was.
I was like, what the? I
It was
like,
one of those
My last-
moments when it was coming up.
no, you can say it.
You're like, oh, please.
I think you cut out.
In like when that part was coming up for me, sitting in the theater, I was like, oh, please, no. But it was more in the sense like it wasn't in. It was more in the sense of like, oh no, this is not going to end well for these people. Let's just say that.
I mean, when that scene happens, that's when I become.
Hello.
Hello?
I think we're losing you. But when that scene happened, that's when I became team. Is it a spoiler to say what team? There.
Just say that your team switched, and I think we'll be.
Okay, so I went in team
Yeah,
somebody,
it is.
and then I switched for like 10 minutes where I was like, I would have done the exact same shit. like there's no stopping me.
It was. So, oh, actually, I
Yeah.
have one complaint that I don't think is spoilery. I feel that although Ant-Man's great in the movie, and I thought every single time he was on screen, I was laughing my ass off, and I was having a great time. I feel like his inclusion in this movie doesn't really work narratively speaking,
Well,
because I'm
the same as
confused as
Spider-Man
for
and
why
Hawkeye.
he would risk the things that he's risking, and why he would leave his daughter after the entire point of the first Ant-Man film was that he's trying to do this
Well,
so he can only be with his daughter.
That's also for me the part of like why Spider-Man's even there and why Hawkeye's even there. They're just there to fill out the teams. Like we need
No, I understand that, but they explain Hawkeye coming out of retirement because Cap needs him. They explain Scarlet Witch. They don't explain why Ant-Man's there outside of the fact that he's a fanboy. But I'm like, I just feel like it kind of cheapens his character development from Ant-Man. But it's a minor complaint, I'm gonna wait till I see Ant-Man and the Wasp in the future films to see how his character progresses. But as it stands now, I feel that Ant-Man is a weaker film because of this, because I feel like his choices don't make as much sense.
I think we lost Alexander. But I'll go through the
Man,
yeah, so I mean for me that was like the thing is like everybody's just here. 6 men, they just like the explanation, Hawkeye just Cap called you, here I am. Okay. Ant-Man, you're a fanboy, here I am. Spider-Man Tony tells him a few things, and here he is. It's like, all right, cool. This is the teams. And I don't know, minor things. But I'll round out the top 5 until Alexander gets back. Jungle Book made $21.9 million. Mother's Day made $9 million. I think John Schnepp said that $9 million were spent going towards the worst gift on Mother's Day. I thought that was funny. Made $9 million. The Huntsman Winter's War made $3.6 million. Keanu is actually performing really badly. It's gonna make its money back, but it's still performing not what I thought it was gonna be. It made 3.1.
Keanu overtook Zootopia barely.
Yeah, but it only made 3.1 million. And
oh yeah, I was just saying because the projections had Zootopia winning or being 5th place for that battle, which I actually saw Keanu and I laughed my ass off. I had a great time. Is it the most well-made movie in the world? No, but it's like a 90-minute cat video, and that's right up my alley.
I'm gonna give Alexander a call. But are you shocked at how poorly it's doing though?
I was shocked. I thought there was more buzz, but looking back at it, it's an R-rated comedy the week before Civil War, and it's being made, but in the talent that's supposed to attract the audience are online stars, but not really known by like the mainstream. Like my mom has no idea who Key and Peele are, but my mom knows who Will Ferrell and like Mark Wahlberg and Adam Sandler are. So to me that makes sense.
Also this weekend, Zootopia surpassed Batman v Superman as well.
Yeah.
Domestically, I think it was. So
which is shocking
It's
in terms of like the end of the year. That would have been shocking,
Yeah,
but like
sad.
seeing the critical response and just how good Zootopia is. Like I went to the theater the other day, and I was like, and Zootopia and BVS were playing at the same time, and I could go see either one, and I was like, I want to sit through Zootopia again.
No, Zootopia is like
So
really
I
good.
picked Zootopia. I adore Zootopia, so I can definitely see that just whole repeat viewing aspect to it. I'm rooting for Zootopia to cross 1 billion because I feel like it deserves it.
It's in the 900s right now.
It's at 960, I believe.
It's not
So
gonna-
it's maybe because there's no more kids movies that are coming out, so it's still going to get that 5 million per week. Because
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank was supposed to like dethrone it 2 months after it came out, and Ratchet and Clank is made 1.4 million. Like Zootopia made more than it.
Yeah. Yeah, so Barbershop is in there, 2.7. So this was clearly the Captain America Civil War weekend, and it will surpass BVS by next weekend. And everybody, all the fanboys that on either side, just the stupidest people that you just like just dumb people, like people saying that this movie's boring because they're fans of the, but they don't find BVS boring. I'm like, how do you find that one not boring, but this one boring? And like it's
Well,
I don't know.
well, to be fair, Batman vs Superman is boring.
No, they said that Marvel. They said this one's boring. It's just unnecessary hate, and all the people also saying that it's not you like you can talk about this movie without comparing it to the other one. I'm like dumb fucks. Like
Sometimes
they are almost exactly the similar story when it
Yeah.
comes to two main heroes fighting one another, and people like I don't know. It's just whatever. Since we're on Avengers for a little bit right now, I am going to hop over to when it comes to our first story. Once we get over, nothing really coming out this weekend, right? We got Money. What's that thing?
Money Monster.
Money Monster, and
There was nothing really besides
What's
that.
it called?
Money Monster is
But
one of those films that I don't
The
know.
Darkness.
Yeah, whatever that is. Money Monster looks okay, but it feels like a trailer that showed too much, and I know what the outcome ending is going to be. It feels like they showed off the twists, and that bothered me. It's Julia Roberts and George Clooney, which, let's be honest, they've had hits and misses as of, let's say, the last 5 years.
Yeah.
This one might be one of their misses. I don't see a lot of marketing for this movie.
But
I'm still going to see it, but I don't see a lot of marketing.
And also, is Jodie Foster really considered a good director?
She did The Brave one. I thought that movie was pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know what else she's done. She's directed a couple things. Oh, she also directed Beaver with Mel Gibson. That was a good movie too. So those are two good movies. I don't know.
Really briefly, where did I get cut off?
When we were
You're talking about your reaction, or it's right after you finish your thought about your reaction to the moment.
Yeah, we were moving on.
That we were referring
Once
to
you
during
stopped
the
talking,
climax
once
of
we lost
Civil
you, I just said we're gonna round out the top 5 box office before you come back.
Okay.
And since we were talking about the Avengers for so long, all right, so we're gonna talk about the Avengers. Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 are gonna get their title changed. In order for me to say my opinion on this, I do have to give you guys a spoiler warning.
God damn. I'm sorry, but you.
Kinda. So, as in, the spoiler's gonna be nobody dies. That's my spoiler.
Really?
That's the spoiler. But all right, so the way that Captain America: Civil War finished, it very much gave me a vibe that one of the titles for these movies is going to be Avengers, or it's going to be called Secret Avengers, which I've mentioned before on the podcast, saying that I really want to see a Secret Avengers movie, which is essentially it's the spy team, like it's the ultimate spy movie, very much in the line of Winter Soldier, where it's pure spy, pure born, but it's a team that goes in, does the job, because now with the Accords, the real Avengers can't do the job, so they aren't allowed to be sent in. This is comic book stuff. In the comic book, when registration happens, the team is not allowed to go to certain things. The Secret Avengers is a team formed by Nick Fury of people that include Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Captain America, Hawkeye, Falcon. Yes, it's going to be changed in this one, but I have a vibe that one of these movies is going to be called Secret Avengers.
There's only one flaw in that thing right there is that I think for Infinity War Part 1, both Thor and Star-Lord were confirmed to be in it. So you can't really do Secret Avengers with two of those guys.
True. Because
And
why
also-
change the name then?
I think they're only... Here's my theory. I think they're only going to change the name for the first part. I think they might leave Part 2...
As Infinity War?
Yeah.
What would he change it to? Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah.
Infinity
So I was
Crusade?
thinking,
Crusade as well, yeah.
Avengers Infinity Gauntlet and Avengers Infinity War. So then there's like so they both should have Infinity in the title. Audiences know, okay, these are connected, but you don't have the problem of them thinking that it's another Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 situation.
So I got a question. So there's rumors of coming out that Kevin Feige and them are like committing to a Black Widow movie finally, which is cool. That's the rumors or whatever, or they said it or something.
Yeah.
Who knows what that means or when it's going to happen? Do you think if her movie gets turned into a Secret Avengers type of situation, the way that Captain America's The Winter Soldier kind of went into more than just a Cap movie, do you think if her movie became something along the lines of a Secret Avengers where she is part of a small team, maybe her, Falcon, and Hawkeye, do some secret type undercover shit, do you think there'll be a backlash? From
No,
like
as
the people
long
that
as
say,
it-
oh,
as
well,
long as it has her name in the title,
you can,
I don't think people care.
But I'm saying is like, yeah, you call it Black Widow, but in real life, it's essentially Black Widow featuring Hawkeye, Falcon, maybe Cap without his shield. They are the Secret Avengers. Like maybe she needs to go do something from her past, but she can't do it alone, and the Avengers aren't going to help. So she gets the people that she trusts the most: Falcon, Hawkeye, and Captain America. I'm wondering if the people that keep pushing for a Black Widow and how Marvel doesn't do enough women stuff, do you think that they'll be upset? Is what I'm asking. Do you think? But you think the
people
name
will be upset because people seem to be unreasonable sometimes. But I feel like the majority will.
So you
will be
think? But you
content
think as
with
long
it.
as the name is there, you don't think people will be that upset?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I'll be like, oh, okay, because
let's.
the main thing is the main complaints are that they haven't had a female-led superhero movie yet, which they would still get in that scenario.
Well, no one has. So it's not...
Oh, yeah.
We can't just pin it on them.
Yeah,
I know,
that's the
but
complaint
that's
people
the
have towards
main
Marvel,
complaint.
though. I mean, because let's be honest,
Yeah,
Black Widow's cool, but I don't want to see a Black Widow movie without anybody else. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
love
agree.
Black Widow. I
would
love her
love a
story.
Hawkeye
I
film
love
with her.
like Hawkeye's comic book series where he's just helping people in his building is awesome. But nobody wants to see that movie. Like, come on now. You need the rest of the team, and it has to be a better story. It'd be cool if they do that because now we don't know where Black Widow is and stuff. So it's cool.
I'm one of those guys where it's like, if it happens, then cool, but we don't really need a Black Widow movie because she works better as a supporting character.
That's what I'm saying. Make her call it Black Widow, but actually let it be the Secret Avengers. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you can't satisfy... I mean, I know everyone wants to see a female superhero movie from either Marvel or DC, but you can't just do it for the sake of pleasing everybody. Like I feel like it has to make sense.
Oh, and then another thing that I wanted to mention. So Thunderbolt Ross, or what senator? What the hell? What was he?
Secretary of State.
Do you guys know who the Thunderbolts are?
Yeah, sort of. They're just like another team.
They're like a team of reformed villains. So Black Widow's in there. Not Black Widow. Punisher's in there. Daredevil's been in there at times. Elektra's been in there. Red Hulk has been in there. Like people that are borderline bad guys, or bad guys that were reformed by Ross to do his agenda, kind of thing. Would you guys be cool? Like, would you guys want to see something like that? Like where it's like Thunderbolt Ross gives people like the Abomination and reform.
In order for that to really happen, most of the Marvel villains would still be alive, and they'd be willing to cross over with the TV series, which sadly I don't think that's happening.
The Thunderbolts it's going to be the Defenders is going to be all the closest thing we're going to get to that probably.
Yeah, which I got a question going back to Ross. Did any of you suspect that there was going to be some more shady things going on with him in Civil War?
I did towards the end, but then it didn't happen. So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I didn't think. I wondered if people knew who the fuck he was. I was like, do you guys know who this guy is?
Yeah, that's what I was more concerned with. I was I was looking around and I was like, I don't think anyone knows who this dude is. Like, oh look, it's the Secretary of State, and I was like, oh, it's the guy from Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Then if people go in there who not follow the Marvel movies don't know who that dude is, then those are some dumb people.
He was in one movie 8 years ago.
Yeah. So
Steven's trying to talk, but I can't hear him. Can you hear him,
Oh.
Alex?
Sorry, I was saying that I don't think the average moviegoer who knew who the fuck he was, like not even close. I think us and people that knew the Marvel movies.
But do people remember like that scene with him where Tony Stark came in?
No, I doubt it. That was an after credit scene.
Yeah, that was after
No,
credits.
that popped up before the credits even started. Huh?
No,
When?
no.
It did.
I thought that was the first post. Like, you know how like, they have the two. I thought that was the first one.
No, there was only one like credit scene in The Incredible Hulk, and it was before the credits.
But then you have to go into the kind of how many people you've even seen that Hulk movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gotten popular over time, I think.
I mean, I love that movie. I like it a lot. It's close to
I
my
do
top
too.
5. But I just people that I know watch the.
The movie made
Avengers
$263 million worldwide.
People that I know that watch like love the Avengers and all this Marvel stuff don't really know the Hulk. They don't even know about the first Hulk movie. They confuse it with the Ang Lee one. Like, oh, which one was it? Like,
Jesus Christ!
I'm talking about the average fans that don't care about continuity or anything. They're like the big green guy showing up.
I think 6% of the people who saw Civil War recognized who Ross was.
I'm going
Jesus
with 30.
Christ.
I'm going with like 30.
Okay,
I'm going 30-40, but we'll move on.
We're going into Rogue One
stuff. We haven't had that movie. Maybe the ending of First Class was like that, but everything else, it's very rare when we have like a large team of like 7-8 people go out and try to save the world.
Okay, in like if you're talking in that sense, I can see that
because the first one we had a small team. Was it like 4 or 5? They went
4.
out.
It was Rogue. No, not Rogue. It was Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, and Wolverine.
Yeah. So, but if anybody that's watched the X-Men, like the best part about the X-Men cartoons or the X-Men comics are the young team, like the young kids having to go out there and be mentored by the older ones. We haven't really gotten that yet. So I'm hoping that going into the 90s is that like we haven't really gotten the sense of, oh, this is our school. And the older students have to come out with us. Or I'm hoping, I don't know, because that we're not even gonna get. We can't even get that because now some of the characters are gonna be young as hell now. We got like, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Well, I mean, this is a weird situation to be in because.
Well, don't say anything, but don't spoil anything.
I won't say anything because I have seen X-Men Apocalypse, but I won't really say anything about that.
In the comics, Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine, and even Storm are the like teachers, for the most part. And we haven't really gotten. We've gotten that. But they've never taken the teenage kids that are the older kids out on missions the way that they would do in the comic books, or even in the way that Jubilee used to come out in the cartoon. You know what I mean? Like, they never take the young ones. Maybe in Apocalypse, in the Apocalypse, the young ones are fighting, but it doesn't get the sense of we're the team and we have to go after.
Well, I won't.
So I don't know.
Again, I won't say anything in Apocalypse, but I was thinking back to X-Men 2. And I thought for a second, like, you know what, they kind of did that, but then
would make it feel like a school.
Yeah.
Because that's what the New Mutants and X-Men Academy X is about, the schools. So I don't know. Shall we move on? I have another.
Yeah,
we have
sure.
another
I just
story
want
here.
a Vanilla Ice cameo.
Dear Jesus, moving on.
God damn it, no.
We do have another X-Men related story. So Wolverine, I guess, have now been officially confirmed to be rated R. I'm not sure if it was before, but it says here, during a press event for X-Men Apocalypse, Kingberg told Collider that the film will be a very radical, bold, different Wolverine than you've ever seen in any of the movies. Kingberg also confirmed previous rumors that Wolverine 3 will be rated R. So that's what the article says. It's violent. It's a Western.
Yeah, it'll be a bold Wolverine movie because he'll stab people and they'll actually bleed.
Which, the way that he described it, it's violent, it's kind of a Western in tone. It's going to be Old Man Logan, right? It's gonna be Old Man Logan's story.
I remember reading that was confirmed, but then the source was kind of iffy, so I don't think it was actually
I
confirmed.
mean, if you're gonna kill him, you have to
that's
go.
what
If
they're
you're gonna
gonna-
take out Hugh
they're gonna
Jackman, you
go
gotta
Old
take
Man
him
Logan.
out Old Man Logan style.
But it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off because I'm very very vaguely familiar with that storyline, but I know that like there's a ton of characters that they don't own the rights to
Yeah,
that
like
have
Hulk and
roles
a
in that
couple other people.
storyline.
You just replaced the Hulk with the Blob or whatever the hell I've heard the rumor saying. All right, that ends that one. Oh, I don't think we have any. Shall we? Let's hop over to DC for a little bit before we move on to the other ones. So Ben Affleck now joins the Justice League as executive producer. I read a article or something on Twitter where they were like, "Hey guys, look, we added a producer, and we're like a month into shooting." I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
This to me feeds into the rumors about Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers not being the best of friends right now, because I think me and Alexander spoke about it before, where we were like, we mentioned when you give all these directors the free roam to do what they want and they come to sign on for your movies, and then all of a sudden things don't go as planned, and then you take the reins off, and now you have to, or you put reins on them, and now they have to follow your rules. This was all going based on the fact that the rumors about Zack Snyder having problems, James Wan and Aquaman having problems, and then the director from Flash having problems. It just made it feel like now Warner Brothers is putting like a leash on them, and now they have to follow things, and that's not what they signed on for. Adding Ben Affleck makes it feel like maybe they want him to be a lot more hands-on, which is what the rumor says here. So
I guess.
Here, So I was on r/DC Cinematic the other day, and I just found the post, and it was titled that Ben Affleck will help Chris Terrio on rewrites to the Justice League script, and will also be involved in editing the movie in post-production.
I
So
have
he's
that
going to be
here.
much more hands-on this time. So I think this will literally just be like Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck will like co-direct it on set for the most part, and then in the editing room, Ben Affleck will be like, "Snyder, get the fuck out."
This sounds like a Poltergeist situation where Toby Hooper quote directed Poltergeist unquote, but it was really Spielberg's doing.
yeah, there's been a couple rumors where stories like that, because there was one with where there was another movie that people say the V for Vendetta, like the director of
was
that
a Wachowski
but
production.
the Wachowskis were always there behind the camera, behind the director, so it was almost like they were telling him what to do. But it seems to happen often but it seems to like more when it's a director that the studio isn't 100% sold on, which is weird because you would have thought Snyder was somebody that they were sold on.
They were sold on him until BVS came out and had a much more poor critical and audience reception than they were anticipating. And they're like, well, this movie shoots in a week, so we can't really delay it. They're like, Ben Affleck, you want to help? And he's like, well, I mean,
here's $50 million.
My blockbuster career depends on it. So, yeah, I'll help. Although there was that other story that Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns have like full creative control of the Batman solo film, so that's promising.
I actually want Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns to be in full control of DC. Make them to their Feige, because Ben Affleck is a fucking fan of Batman. Like remember guys, he was like hardcore friends with like Kevin Smith and was like a hardcore nerd.
Yeah.
So like,
I still think
he knows his shit.
I still think they need to get somebody who knows DC overall, like
Kevin
who's a fan of
Smith,
DC overall.
He's not really doing. Right, he's doing a bunch.
He's off doing shows on Screen Junkies. He can afford to be a boss for
He's doing
DC.
Screen Junkie shows. He's doing those weird ass movies that
Are you
get
guys
poorly
talking
received.
about Kevin Smith?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
gets poorly received.
He was actually offered the role of,
but it was before this
of
thing,
being
though.
the Kevin Feige of the DC universe. But this was in the '90s, and he's like, nah, that seems like too much work. And now we're like, why did I not say yes to that gig?
Like,
Why was I so
literally,
dumb?
he cries during The Flash because of how good it is. Like that's how much he knows these characters. Like,
Yeah, get somebody who knows that, hey, we can make good movies out of everyone and not turn them into Batman.
yeah. So yeah, that's what's happening over in Warner Brothers. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, we'll jump from one cinematic universe to another. So, Now we're getting over to Universal Pictures and their Monster Universe. I want to ask this to Alexander before anything. So, how do you feel about this, Alexander, where they're going to be introducing characters for other possible movies in their movies? Example, The Mummy, which is starring Tom Cruise. Now, Russell Crowe is in it, and he's going to be playing the character of Dr. Henry Jekyll, which, according to rumors, is so that they can somehow spin it off into
Jekyll and Hyde.
So, what do you think about that? That they're doing that's really the Marvel way of introducing characters. Where, what do you think about that? Are you cool with that?
Well, what did they say? What time period this Mummy reboot's supposed to take place in?
No, they haven't said anything about that. They have it's being directed by the Star Trek writer Alex Kurtzman, written by Prometheus writer John Spates. But the fact that they're going after...
And it's starring Tom Cruise.
Now it's starring Tom Cruise. It's starring Russell Crowe, and the Invisible Man is going to be played by Johnny Depp. Not in this movie, in another movie. But they
Wait, is that for real?
I thought that was confirmed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. So, yeah, this is expected to debut June 9th of next year. So,
I don't know.
I'm really excited about this.
I'm excited that they give a fuck, but I'm curious, Alexander, who knows these monsters, and he's a hardcore fan, how he feels about them introducing Frankenstein and the Wolfman in other movies.
I don't know. It's just
characters of some sort.
I mean, just okay, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Back when Universal did their monster movies, they didn't really do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That wasn't one of their things. They had the Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, the Mummy, Dracula, and so on. But I don't think Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was ever considered in that lineup. So, and plus it's it's a little different. I feel like if they're making these monster movies, they need to be they need to stand alone. They just have to stand alone and just see what happens, because the Jekyll and Hyde story could be interesting on its own. I don't know. This is just a thing of we'll see what happens. Although I'm curious to see I'm curious if this all means if they're getting high caliber actors like Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe, does that mean Dracula Untold has been retconned? Because they
haven't said that, but I'm gonna go with yes.
All right, because if you look at the casting in that movie, it's B-list actors.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited, because it feels like they give a fuck. And then Dylan, you said you're excited as well, right?
Yeah, I'm excited only because Tom Cruise is in it, and I'll see anything he's in, and I'm trying to see if he's a producer on it. But everything that Tom Cruise has made in the last 4 years has been really good.
Except for Rock of Ages to most people.
Besides that.
Yeah. Okay, I actually thought of something that'll confirm nor deny if Dracula Untold has been retconned. Is this new Mummy movie being produced by Legendary? Because I know Universal's doing it, but they have a partnership with Legendary. Do they have their name on this new movie?
Not anywhere in this thing. It just says who's out. It says Jake Johnson's in the movie, Sophia Botola, and Annabelle Wallace, but it doesn't say who else is on board when it comes to production.
All right. So if Legendary Pictures...
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Huh? I want to hear what you have to say.
I was gonna say, according to the very reputable source known as the IMDb trivia page, this is part of Universal Studios' Monsters Universe franchise, starting with 2014's Dracula Untold. Does that confirm anything? Nope.
I don't know. There's nothing.
Because it's IMDb.
There's nothing on their Wikipedia page either for this movie, so. We don't know yet.
I'm just gonna assume no, because Dracula Untold, no one liked it, and it left no cultural impact whatsoever. I think they're
money.
this is gonna be our reboot of something that we made 3 years ago, or their second chance. Because I didn't even go see Dracula Untold, and I see more movies 95%.
Yeah, I saw Dracula Untold because YouTube Space was showing it early, and boy, was that thing not good.
All right.
Wasn't there an after credit sequence where a portal appears or something, and it's he's gonna go into the other dimensions where the monsters are?
Damn it!
Yeah, spoilers for the
I'm sorry that I spoiled Dracula
movie
Untold.
nobody gives a shit about. But to answer your question, I didn't even stay through the credits, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
All right.
That was me for Minions. I was just like, I'm just gonna. I looked on my phone and I went to aftercredits.com and it's like, oh, there's an after credits sequence, and I tried to sit there for one more minute, and I'm like, I can't take this, and I just got up and left. I was like, I'm gonna miss stuff in the movie. I don't care. Done.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Looks like the rumors about ALDEN Ehrenreich. How do you say this guy's name? The new Han Solo guy.
Oh,
I'm not sure how to pronounce his last.
from Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar, Blue Jasmine. Yeah. So the rumors were true. He is our new Han Solo. And the complaints come out saying he's too short. He looks nothing like Han Solo, and I don't know. I think he looks fine. I actually think he does look like Han Solo a little bit. I don't care how tall he is because Tom Cruise is super short, and they made that guy look like super tall.
And Robert Downey Jr. was too short for how Tony Stark is usually depicted.
Yeah, isn't Robert Downey like 5'9"?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tony Stark's supposed to be like 6'1". So yeah, I don't care about your height. It's movie magic. I'm going based off the fact that I don't know this guy from anything because I haven't seen Hail Caesar, I haven't seen Blue Jasmine. So I don't know I don't know how good he is. Have you guys seen those? Both of you guys have seen Hail Caesar, right?
I haven't seen.
I've seen Hail Caesar and Blue Jasmine, but I don't even remember him from Blue Jasmine.
And Hail Caesar, you said that he was the best part, right?
Yeah, he was.
So,
I trust Lord and Miller and Lucasfilm as a whole, so I'm all for this. I'm sure the movie will be good. This is what Lawrence Kasdan wanted to do as his Star Wars swan song. So
yeah, I just figured we'd say the name. Well, we have to wait and see if he is in Rogue One. That will be our first look at him. So
I hope he's not.
The rumors are he is. Sorry.
I hope he's not though, because we don't need a Han Solo cameo in Rogue One. We don't.
But
because it doesn't. It makes more sense to have a Princess Leia cameo than it does.
Maybe
a Han Solo.
Maybe they'll use Carrie Fisher's daughter as the cameo. I have no idea.
No, because Carrie Fisher's daughter's already in The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, she was in that room.
But I guess the way I see it, I've learned not to really say anything until I actually see it. Like I won't say I'll support it or disapprove of it, but we've seen so many instances where
but when it comes to actors, yes. When it comes to directors, that's a whole nother ballgame. Because as soon as Michael Bay's
I know. I'm talking about actors, because we've been down this road before where people didn't like the idea of Heath Ledger as the Joker. People didn't like the idea of Ben Affleck as Batman. People didn't like the idea of Chris Evans as Captain America. And look how those turned out.
Agree.
But
people also didn't like the idea of the Fantastic Four casting.
That's for different.
That
was for different reasons. That's because Michael B. Jordan is black and not white. But
no, beyond that,
even just the fact that they were way younger.
Yeah, that's true. But they are young in the.
But as I was saying, those are comic book characters. They're gonna have different interpretations, no matter what. This is Han fucking Solo we're talking about. He's only been played by one actor.
We don't even need this
so
movie,
because with Harrison Ford owning that role for 38 years, it's really hard to see anybody else play that role. So I'm just going to be in the camp of, you know what? Show me a trailer. Show me a trailer of this guy before I make any decisions on him as Han Solo. Because he could be good, he could be bad, but with a character like Han Solo, it's really hard to say.
All right, let's round out these stories here. They're making a Cats movie directed by the Les Mis director.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I like Les Mis. I like Tom Hooper.
Didn't he also do a Danish Girl?
He did, and The King's Speech.
He's a great director, but
he's made one good
very
movie.
Boring though. His style is very.
Well,
I don't like.
Did you see Danish Girl?
No, I haven't.
He did.
It just doesn't look.
The performances were great, but oh my god, that movie was boring as hell.
But Cats is also a very
and
boring
Les Mis
musical.
was even more boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with.
My opinion.
And Cats is boring as fuck. So.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna go with Steve. So in that sense, it's a match made in heaven, huh?
I guess
so because
because
boring
I'd
director with
rather
boring
get a
musical, boring
Keanu
material.
sequel if we're gonna make
'Cause I
something
mean-
Cats.
Shit, I actually remember seeing I remember seeing Cats on at the God, why am I forgetting its name? I live here, but basically one of our theaters in LA, and that thing was boring.
The
Like
crazy
I
thing
remember
is,
hating
Cats is
that
one of the
movie.
most beloved
show.
musicals, but when I saw it, I was like, "This shit is boring." There are
Yeah,
so,
'cause
and I
only
love
know-
musicals. I love musicals. I go to watch a lot of them, but there's so many better ones than Cats.
Yeah, because
so
my
many.
parents. I remember my parents took me to that show because I think my mom was it that loved it or my dad. I don't remember who it was, but we came out of it and I was like, "How the fuck do you like this?" Okay, I didn't say that to their
Yeah,
face
but you
because
were
I
you were
was
just
like,
confused. Like,
I was like 10 or something. But
it's so boring.
The only reason I know Cats exists is because of that like '90s sitcom called The Nanny, and one of the main characters is like a Broadway producer, and there's always a running joke that he passed on Cats, so he has like no taste in
because
musicals.
Cats made so much money. But I'm sure
That-
this movie will be
that's all I know about this.
critically received well because of the directing team, like the director behind it. So, and he picks good projects. I like Les Mis. Most people don't like Les Mis. All right.
I like Les Mis like just to play a drinking game with that. So
I like it just because I like the music.
I thought it was done at the end of the first act, and I'm like, oh, that was a pretty good 2.5 hour movie, and then it kept going.
And you're like, wait, that was
Kept
only an
going.
hour. No.
Yeah, kept going. And at the end, I remember I left with my friend, and my friend was like, "Do you like that?" And I was like, "Oh God, no." He goes, "Oh, okay, good," because I hate it too, and like because we were scared that like one of us was gonna love it, one was gonna hate it, and and we were just gonna argue in the car. I was like, "Oh no."
I thought
No,
I thought it was
both
okay.
hated that
I
movie.
thought it was fine. There's just way better musicals out there. All right.
Yeah, like High School Musical.
Like Wicked. Why the hell don't we have a Wicked movie musical? So next up we have here Andrew Garfield is teaming up with the It Follows director to do a neo noir crime thriller. Neo-noir crime thriller. And I'm just sold. I love It Follows. I love Andrew Garfield. I think he's very underrated as an actor. So I'm on board. Don't know who any of these producers are. Garfield's next film is going to be the one in Scorsese's movie. It's a modern day crime thriller, so I'm excited. I mean, I know Dylan, you like Andrew Garfield a lot, right?
Yeah. He's in one of my favorite movies, the Social Network, and I thought he was a great Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, and I love 99 Homes, so I'm a huge fan of Garfield. All right, so can we move on?
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Daisy Ridley is set to star in a new Hamlet film with Naomi Watts, which is going to focus on the women's side of the story. Didn't know there was a story there, but I guess we're going to perform. It's going to be Hamlet told from the side, the perspective of the females. Don't know who's directing this. Let me see. It's through the title character Ophelia. It's going to be the story of her more than the story of Hamlet himself.
Oh, really?
It's interesting. The film is based on a novel that is being adapted by Mad Men writer and The Waiting City writer is set to direct Claire McCarthy. Don't know who that is. Yeah, so we're getting that.
I mean, I guess if you're going to focus on any female character in Hamlet, most of them are pretty dull and
Yeah, it makes sense to go with
and uninteresting. Ophelia would be the one
She's the only one that would make
to
sense.
focus on. I'd rather just
That would
see
mean
a
that
straight
that
up
means that Daisy Ridley is
straight up
playing Ophelia,
adaptation
right?
of Hamlet. What?
Daisy Ridley would be playing Ophelia, right? They didn't say who she's playing, but I'm assuming yes, because Ophelia
yeah,
is
I
supposed
would
to be in
assume
her
she'd be playing
20s.
Ophelia, and then we Watts would be playing Gertrude,
Yeah, makes sense.
which would make sense. I'd see it, but I don't know. But doesn't Ophelia's story end in like the third act, and it's a 5-act play?
Well, Ophelia isn't in like the ending of the Hamlet movie, the old one. At the end of it, I don't know. We'll see. They're gonna change the story.
Everything is so
I didn't read this book, so I don't know what story they're telling of hers. All right, next we got this is just weird. Space
yeah,
Jam
she's
2
wanted to.
lands Fast and the Furious director Justin Lin and is in talks with LeBron James to star. So, we are getting a Space Jam 2. It is starring LeBron James. And somehow Justin Lin wants to direct this, or they're paying him enough money to direct this. It's a sequel, not a reboot.
What do you mean somehow Justin Lin wants to do this? There should have been a bidding war for the directors to line up for the Space Jam sequel. It's gonna be incredible.
There's two reasons why not. The first Space Jam is not very good. I like it because it's nostalgia, but it's not very good. Second reason, nobody gives two shits about the Looney Tunes anymore. So, yeah.
But there is a really large fan base for Space Jam. Like that, that nostalgia is real. At the dunk contest last year, Zach LaVine came out to Quad City DJs, and basketball Twitter lost their shit. Basketball Twitter lost their shit.
I get it. It'll make money.
This Space Jam 2 announcement.
No, will it make money?
Make at least 20 million opening weekend.
It will make money, guaranteed. Like, I agree with them. 20, 25 million. LeBron, people know him. You throw NBA.
He was good in Trainwreck.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was the best part, in my opinion, of that movie.
When it comes to the playoffs and certain things, if they release this during the playoffs, this thing would bank. Because during the playoffs of the NBA, people go crazy online and people love it. I just don't get why Justin Lin would even want to do this because I don't get it. Like,
it definitely makes me like.
And then what's the story going to be?
Before this announcement, I wasn't excited at all about Star Trek Beyond because I thought it looked like garbage. This announcement makes me basically be like, oh yeah, so that movie's gonna be garbage because Justin Lin's trying to get his next directing gig 3 months before the movie comes out.
So
while they're still editing the damn thing.
Think about it,
instead of being like, oh, I have faith in this movie, so I'm gonna get a pay raise for the next movie. Now he's like, Space Jam 2? Sure, I'm in, buddy. And this is 2 years removed from making
What's
Fast
the
6,
story
which,
gonna
like,
be?
box office.
Like, Jordan retired in Space Jam, and they went off his whole baseball thing, and he had to figure out his way to go back. What's the story going to be? LeBron left Miami, and now he's going back to Cleveland. He left Cleveland, and now he's going back to Miami. Like, what's the story?
I want nothing more than
the Looney Tunes make him see the light that Cleveland is his home, and that's why he went back to Cleveland. The Looney Tunes taught him to. Like, what the?
I want the title, or no, the marketing title. I'm not sure. I forget what it's called. The slogan, I guess, in the movie, to say, "I gotta get one for the Earth." and you because LeBron's always like, I gotta get one for the land. The Cleveland's the land, I guess.
What do they call where the Looney Tunes are from?
I don't know, man.
Toonland? Like, I want the marketing to say.
Can you imagine J.R. Smith? J.R. Smith, I read online, is rumored to have been approached to be in this movie.
No, yeah, they're approaching his teammates. That's what the teams are. I want the marketing
J.R.
to say.
Smith and LeBron are in Space Jam 2. Count me in.
No, the marketing.
We need Blake Griffin to jump over IKEA.
No,
that's gotta happen.
The marketing needs to be, I took my talents to Toonland. Like, that's the marketing.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
That would also be fantastic.
All right, let's move on from this.
I'm so excited for this.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is the Power Rangers costumes were reviewed for the movies. And I guess the internet was very 50-50 on it. Some people really hated them. Some people really liked them. I saw them and I thought they were okay. It's what I expected them to be. You can't go with the spandex that people were like, oh yeah, let's do the spandex. Nobody ever thought that, wait, they're wearing spandex. They're not being hurt when they're being thrown around. This makes sense. Yes, they look like Iron Man. They look like the Pacific Rim suits. They look like every high-tech suit that we get nowadays. But what did you expect? It still bothers me that somehow we feel the need to put boobs on the girl suits. I'm like, that bothers me. They're wearing wedges or high heels, which people were like, why would the girls have to wear that? Oh yeah, because they're girls.
Yeah, that's
weird. It's just weird.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Like, do the like suits for the female Power Rangers have to look feminine?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know, because if you really think about it, in the Power Ranger stuff, the suits all look the same, just different colors. Yeah, you can see boobs because they're wearing them over their boobs, but.
Well, I mean, if you take a look at I know she's a character that doesn't do anything, but Captain Phasma, like, you can't tell it's a woman underneath that armor.
True. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Although,
I agree. I don't think they need the boob stuff. It's just weird.
yeah.
That's the
Although
girl one.
I did, I did laugh. I think I saw on Twitter. I forget the user who posted it, but someone took the picture of the female ranger with her high heels, and tweeted it with the caption, "When you gotta defeat Rita at 5, but the prom's at 7."
Oh, there we go. That's um yeah, but then they also did sexify the fuck out of Rita Repulsa. Like Rita Repulsa is supposed to be like this ugly creature lady thing, and they made her like super hot and sexy. There's rumors saying that she's somehow the Green Ranger, which I hope to God is not
Yeah.
true.
Really?
Yes, I hope.
I think it'd be a cool twist.
No, it would not be no. In no world
It would
is that
not.
a cool twist. In no world, like hell no. I'm sorry. There is
And plus-
there is no
if-
world where I'm cool with her being the Green Ranger, and just
And
going
plus,
bad.
if they were to do it, that'd be one of the oldest cliches in the book. Like,
No, but
oh,
even,
or,
then it doesn't make sense because the Green Ranger is a teenager just like the rest of them. So spoilers alert for the Power Rangers. After like the first season, the Green Ranger turns good and he becomes a good guy. What's she gonna do? She's gonna turn into the Green Ranger and be part of the damn young ass squad. She's old as hell. She's 40 something. She's
Yeah.
hot, but she's 40. I don't know. Whatever. This movie.
I think it looks fine.
I mean, oh yeah, she looks hot, but they sexified her. And the Power Rangers suits look cool for what they are. They look cool. They make sense more than the damn spandex stuff. I'm cool to see. I guarantee we're gonna get like some Transformers type deals with the Megazord type shit. It'll be interesting.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like very Transformers esque. Who's producing this? Like, what studio is making this?
No, it's the Lionsgate's making it, and it's the guy whose name is in the
Yes.
title, Saban.
Oh god.
It's called Saban's Power Rangers, which is so dumb.
Because he had to put his name in the title, so everybody knows that it's him. It's not going to be gritty. Worst case scenario, we get TMNT, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that people liked and I hated.
I don't think that's the worst case scenario.
I'm hoping for me. I, mean,
I think
dear
that's
God,
one of the
I
think that's the most likely scenario.
that to me is the worst case. What else can be worse than that?
Well,
Dragon Ball
I'm
Z?
someone who liked TMN, the new Turtles movie, and it has its fan base. Like, there's not many of us, but there's at least like a solid 35% of the one of us. I think I'd say that this movie, the worst case scenario is that like it gets $10 million opening weekends, only hardcore Ranger fans, and then it doesn't follow the source material, so then even they hate it.
All right, worst case scenario, jamming the holograms.
Yeah, there we go.
except, well,
They can
I mean
make
that
a
was
cinematic universe.
Oh god.
that was dead on arrival because nobody gives a shit about Gem and the
Yeah,
holograms.
that's true. At least this will have action. Well, that brings us to the end of the news stories. Shall we head over to Blu-rays?
Yeah, assuming the connection doesn't slow down, we can get onto the Blu-rays. Hang on, let me pull it up. There we go.
Oh damn.
So
Okay.
yeah, we have the big release of the week, which was the best comic book movie of the year so far until this past weekend. But I'm talking about Deadpool. I apologize for that. I will never do it again. But yes, Deadpool, The Merc with the Mouth, has finally come on Blu-ray, starring Ryan Reynolds, and is the movie that made everyone go, "Oh, thank God they got Deadpool right." Huh?
Yeah, that was awesome. Funny as hell. I didn't know anybody didn't like this movie until my cousin and my brother told me that they thought it was stupid. So yeah, but then again, neither one of them got any of the jokes they said. So yeah, that's why they didn't like it. It makes sense. I guess if you don't get the jokes or the inside jokes, then maybe you might not like it. You won't laugh. And if he could come off as annoying if you don't get the jokes, any of them.
I think it's more if you don't like inappropriate per se humor, because that's a lot of what the humor is, and then a lot of the humor doesn't rely on that is poking fun with like this cinematic universe thing.
True.
But a lot of those are quick hitters, and it's hard to catch them. A lot of them are more subtle.
Yeah, so I thought the movie was awesome. I liked it. I'm not gonna buy the Blu-ray, but it's amazing. Definitely rent it and watch it again.
Yeah, I can't buy the Blu-ray because I don't have the money to. But hopefully soon, because Yeah, this thing is awesome. Not much else to say. I mean, it is what it is. It's Deadpool.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it a lot when I first saw it, and I thought about it, and I was like, oh, and I don't like it as much as when I first saw it, but I'd still recommend it. Someone say, like, if someone asked me, oh, should I see Deadpool? I'm like, oh, yeah, I should see it. But I feel like I'm on, like, the more negative spectrum of it, but I'd still give it, like, a 3.5, probably, out of 5.
What?
I just...
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I like
I thought
that.
that it peaked too early.
I
and,
give
like,
it a
the best
5.
part was the first
I mean,
20,
I give it
like,
a 4 out of
25
5.
minutes. I feel that like with if this movie was made for $100 million and they could have had like one more bigger action sequence to end it, I would have loved it. But instead, it was like, oh, that wasn't as good as the first as how it began, and it was still really funny. But a lot of the best jokes were in the trailers, which I'd watched a lot. So I was like, oh, so.
Disagree on that. Huh?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just thought the movie was. I thought
So a
I
lot of times
gave
when
it
I
a
found
4.
myself laughing, I'd already laughed from watching the trailers. It's still really well made. I didn't like it as much as everyone else did, but I'm still excited for the sequel, and it's good, and I'm glad I saw it. They all buy it when it goes on sale for like half price, like $10. I'll be like, okay, I'll pay that.
All right. So besides Deadpool, what else we got? Because I'm not seeing much.
Yeah, there isn't much. We could probably just like breeze through these movies. Okay, there are two things worth mentioning. There's this what's his name? Ethan Hawke, Emma Watson movie called Regression.
That movie was not good, though.
There's the Michael Moore documentary. Huh?
I heard that movie was not very good.
Say that one more time.
That Regression movie I heard was not very good.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I didn't see it. But we also have Michael Moore's Where to Invade Next.
Heard that's really good.
I really like that. And it's really eye-opening and makes you mad at this country even more. Then the last thing that's really worth noting... Okay, then there's the stupid horror movie The Boy.
Haven't seen it. Heard bad things.
Yeah. And then the only thing that's really worth mentioning, to me at least, is the Criterion release of In a Lonely Place from 1950, which stars Humphrey Bogart. It's a really good movie, I gotta say. I'm glad this came out in the Criterion collection. I think when I get the money and when it comes to Barnes & Noble's 50% off sale, I'll definitely pick it up. But other than that, there's not a whole lot coming out. There's nothing else. And there's some stuff coming out next week, but I don't know. Did one of you say anything?
No, there's not really
I
anything
said
else.
that the Bourne trilogy comes out on Blu-ray as like a
That's
as
a reissue.
one.
Yeah, but that's a reissue. That's why I didn't mention it.
Oh, okay.
The Killjoys on a sci-fi TV series is pretty good. I've seen a couple episodes of that. Yeah, everything else seems like re-releases. WrestleMania 32 is on Blu-ray this week. It's okay, I guess. I watched it live. It was okay, I guess. That's about it, honestly. Yeah, it's a bunch of re-release stuff. Next week is a couple more little minor things, but it's going to be a while for us to get like some really good stuff.
Yeah, it won't be until fall when we get some good releases.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And as always, make sure you guys want to promote what you guys are working on or what you got out this week.
Yes, so you can find me at The Real Mr. Robinson on YouTube. I just posted up my review for X-Men Apocalypse, which doesn't come out until for another 18 days, the 27th. So you can check that out. And I will be doing reviews for X-Men 3 and X-Men First Class because I'm going through all the X-Men movies that I haven't reviewed yet. I have a brand new Let's Play coming out not next week, but the week after, once I finish the X-Men movies. I've already picked the game. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Periscope. Those links are... And Rift.tv. Those links are on my official website. Those links, including the link to my official website, are on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, go check that out.
All right, Dylan?
All right, hey, you can watch me at youtube.com/slash tapcalprodigy. Follow me on Twitter at Dylan Mickinan, DYLAN, MICKANEN. I started a new podcast called the Dylan Mickinan Podcast. My co-host for the sports section has been busy, so I haven't really uploaded it too much. But I think today is his last day of like being busy with schoolwork, so we're going to try to record an episode this weekend and get that up, and that should be fun. Talk about the playoffs.
All right. For me, you can look out for. I'm going to be doing a recap or a review for WWE Raw tonight. Debating. I have a couple of top tens that are already close to done. Just gotta finish editing them. So don't want to say which ones are gonna come up, but maybe a Batman one, maybe a Zac Efron one, because those are ones that I started working on a while ago and are close to finish. So be on the lookout for those. And as always, guys, we are on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and look up Movie Backlog Podcast. And we'll be back next week to talk movies. See ya.
Bye bye.